Heavy morning mist at Mararoa delays the start of the National Sheepdog Trials. One of the waiting competitors is leading New Zealand trialist and breeder Bob Wilson of Canterbury.
I think it's a great hobby, dog trials. It gives anybody another interest apart from doing their work. You can take your dog that you do your everyday work with and go and you see all the fellas and you have a lot of fun.
So I stood over to the left of the ring, so that if he pulled out, well, at least I gained that.
They're very hard things to breed, I think. You've got to consider the weaknesses in your dam and strengthen them with the sire you mate them with. They don't always turn out as you expect. There's no sure way. You can mate the best dam and the best sire, but you don't always get the best progeny. But once you get two animals that do mate, well, then it's a very wise move, I think, to stick to it.
Throughout the year, meetings are held by a couple of hundred clubs, spread from top to bottom of the country. And this, the championship meeting, draws competitors from most of these, some with 3 or 4 dogs each, headers and huntaways, for the various classes of trials. Among those competing are station owners, enthusiastic amateurs, and working shepherds, whose dogs are their living, and can cost anything up to $500 for a top-class pup. Practically all the dogs seen at the trials are genuine non-union farm workers. Without their help, a 12-hour day would need to be stretched to 24 hours. For some of the lucky ones, life is made easier by transport to and from the job. Every morning on this hill station, 5,000 sheep are shifted into fresh paddocks. Somebody has to get them on the move, and that would be quite a job without a bit of hurry along from the dogs.
Sit down, fly. Come here, fly. Come here, fly.
Even though the dog's remarkable ability is inherent, to make full use of this skill depends on the degree of communication between man and animal. Bob Wilson, winner of over 1,000 prizes with his dogs, talks about his hobby.
It's a very interesting hobby. I don't profess to know everything. You're always learning, because each pup you break in has some little different trait that you're either pleased with or otherwise. And of course, if you're not pleased with it, you've got to try and iron it out and try and trace back where it come from.
Keep your feet out, that's the way, boys. Have your dinner, come on, have your dinner. Come on, have your dinner, that's the way, boy.
Every dog is different, whether it's of the same litter or not. You hardly ever get 2 pups the same if they're out of the same litter. Just like human beings. You might say we're all one race, but we're all different.
Oh, yes. That's a good one. Don't
you can sort of pick their temper in their early age.
Come on.
You get to know the ones that's a wee bit shy or a wee bit bold and have a excitable nature or a placid nature, and you've got to treat them as such when you start to work on them. It requires a lot of time and a lot of work, and I know a lot of people do say that mine are only used for exhibition, but they've proved themselves in competitions and also at home doing the average general work.
Get in, Rose. Get in, Rose. Get in, Rose. Get in, Rose. Back. Stand, Rose. Come by, Rose. Come by. Come by, Rose. Come by, Rose. Come by. Come by. Sit down, Rose. Lean. Sit down, Rose. Lean. Be lean. Come by, lean. Stand, lean. Walk up, lean. Lean. Back, lean. Come by, lean. Walk, lean. Come by, lean.
Lean. Steady, lean. Walk, lean. Walk, lean. Walk out of it, lean. Get in, lean.
Stand, lean. Sit down clean. Dawn, Dawn. Get on. Up, Dawn. Come by, Dawn. Get on. Come by, Dawn. Walk up, Patch. Walk, lane, lane. Steady, lane. Get in, lane. Get in, lane. Steady, Rose. Walk. Stand there. Get in, Rose. Keep out of it.
An important feature of the training is recognition and encouragement for a job well done. It's not just an indifferent boss-worker situation. It's a friendly relationship.
Stand there. Stand there. That'll do. Come up to me.
A hunt away is used the reverse to a heading dog. We use the heading dogs to go and bring them to us, and we use the hunt away to take them away.
Stand. Sit down, Rag. Where, Rag? Where, Rag?
When you're hunting sheep, you should keep them just hunting slowly on, not running fast, just to keep them flowing out of the road of the dog more like water.
Sit down. Sit down, Rose. Sit down, Patch. Sit down, Patch. Sit down, Patch. Sit down, Rose. Sit down, Rose. Get in, Dawn. Sit down, Rose. Dawn. Get in, Dawn. Sit down, Dawn. Patch. Walk out of that. Patch. Walk up. Walk, Patch.
The slinky silence of the headers contrasts with the noisy exuberance of the hunt away.
Sit down, Rose. Sit down, Rose.
Also referred to as eye dogs, the headers' hypnotic powers seem to work equally well on creatures other than
Get
sheep.
in, Dawn. Get in, Dawn. Get on. Get on. Get in, Dawn. Get in, Dawn. Get on. Get on. Get on. Lane. Sit down, Lane. Get in, Patch. Get in, Rose. Get in, Patch. Get in, Patch. Come up, Patch. Get in, Patch. Get in, Patch. Get in. Sit down, Patch. Get on. Get on. Get in, Dawn. Get in, Dawn. Come up, Lane. By, Lane. Come on up, Lane. Walk, Rose. Come by, Rose. Walk. Get in. Get in. Get in, Rose. Get in, Rose. Stand. Walk. Stand. Come by. Walk, Rose. Lane. By, Lane. Come by, Rose. Walk. Walk, Rose. Come by. Walk. Come by. Come by.
Attention all competitors, Mr. McDonald has asked me to announce the time for all events.
Officials at the National Sheepdog Trials get very little time to load. 4 classes of competition, with well over 100 entries in each, demands a tight schedule. Each competitor has a time limit of 16 minutes for a run. In the zigzag huntaway, the object is to drive the sheep up to the top of the hill between the staggered white markers as smoothly and quickly as possible.
Now, a good huntaway should, like a heading dog, be able to find the balance of his sheep and push them away and balance them himself. You can teach them to hunt on a straight line. And when they go to go off the line, the dog will just take that 2 steps or so to straighten up, and it's what they call a natural balance.
Boy, you listen! Here, boy. Down there, boy. Down, boy. Get in. Get in. Down, boy. Down. Get in. Down, boy. Down, boy. Get in. Down, boy. Get in. Down, boy. Boy. Down, boy. Boy, you listen to me. Here, boy, here, boy, here, boy. Down, boy. Down, boy. You listen to me, boy. Get in. Down, here, boy.
A good, smooth run, well inside the time limit. Participants waiting their turn spend a fair bit of time in and out of the dog box. while their handlers take a look at the opposition. Now for the short head and yard. Next competitor, number 63, is Bob Wilson with Rose, whose sheep are positioned out of her sight.
With heading dogs, it's amazing when you send them out on the blind. People say, how did the dog know they were there? They'll run around the back of a knob and come around right on top of the sheep. Well, they seem it's an instinct, and they've got a wonderful nose. They can smell the scent of the sheep is there, and they know roughly where they are, and they just focus around till they see them, and then they get into position. They naturally learn to get out there, and you educate them to steer them and guide them over different places and mess with the rough patches and all that. And the same when they're coming back, when they get their sheep, it's the handler then really that has the control of the dog, and whether he's allowed to bring them fast or slow, that is just up to the owner.
The rapport between dog and man reaches its summit on these occasions. Specific marks are awarded for every aspect of the run. For the head, that is the dog's approach to the sheep; for the pull, bringing them back to the handler; for working the yards; and finally for the actual yarding. And as events can be won or lost on half a point, the judges can hardly afford to blink an eye.
Sit down. Sit down, Rose. Steady. Steady. Get in. Sit down, Rose. Back. Sit down. Sit down. Sit down. Mouth. Go.
From the exacting demands of competition to the physical demands of hard work, they're on the go from sun up to sundown, working both instinctively and under command, driving and guiding the mobs. It's pretty hard to imagine how the country's 60 million sheep could be handled without the partnership of the sheepmen and their dogs.
Go!